Welcome to everyone present here. In this session, we are going to talk about characteristics of ionic compounds. This unit is present in General Chemistry 1. Myself, Dr. M. Kumar, Associate Professor, belongs to the Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Arts and Science, Vaigar, Chennai. At first, we are going to talk about types of ions. Generally, ions are classified into two types. One is cation, another one is anion. When we remove one electron from a neutral atom, we can get cations. The removal of one electron from a neutral atom gives cation. This process is called ionization. Energy required to remove one electron from a neutral atom at its gaseous state is called ionization energy. Similarly, when we add one electron to neutral atom, we can get anion. This process is called electron affinity. Energy required to add one electron to neutral atom is called electron affinity. From ionization and electron affinity, we can get two types of ions, cations and anions. When these anions and cation combine together to form ionic compounds. Most of the inorganic compounds are ionic compounds. So, ionic compounds are made up of positive and negatively charged ions, anions and cations. From this figure, we can find this. Green colored balls are cations, red colored balls are anions. Cations and anions combined together in three-dimensional manner, we can get ionic compounds. When we connect these anions and cations, we can get box-like structures. These box-like structures are called unit cells. Each corners of the box is called a lattice point. Each cations are surrounded by anions. These cations are immobilized by anions. Similarly, anions are immobilized by cations. This immobilization is called electrostatic force. Force hold anions and cations is called electrostatic force. From the above figure, you may consider it number of cations and number of anions must be unequal. From this figure, a number of positive and a number of negative ions must be equal. You may think of it. Actually, it's not true. Go to this example, aluminum oxide. In aluminum oxide, 2 aluminum 3+ ions combined with 3 oxygen atoms. It can give crystal structures. So, number of atom is not needed, only charge neutralization. Here, when we add this 2 aluminum 3+, we can get 6+ charge. Similarly, when we add 3 oxygens, we can get 6- charge. Then only it can neutralize. No need of ion count. Okay, now let's go to the characteristics of ionic compounds, properties of ionic compounds. Ionic compounds at room temperature, they combine with a very strong electrostatic force. Here, let's take sodium chloride, a table salt. Each chlorine ions are immobilized by 6 number of sodiums. Each sodium ions immobilized by 6 chlorines. So, each ions are locked in a crystal lattice. Sodium and chlorine ions are locked in crystal lattice. They lose its freedom of mobility. That's why they are solid, they are in solid state. Most of the inorganic compounds are solid because of they form this type of crystal lattices. Ionic compounds have high melting and boiling points because the interaction between positive and negative ions, anions and cations, are tightly held their positions in the lattice. They are immobilized in crystal lattice. That's why they need more energy to break the interaction. Each sodium ion surrounded by 6 number of chlorine ions. Similarly, each chlorine ions are surrounded by 6 number of sodium ions. When we apply energy, that sodium and chlorine needs more energy to break the lattice point. That's why it need they have high melting and boiling points. Most of the ionic crystals are hard and brittle because of electrostatic force between positive and negative ion. From this figure you can consider positive attraction between positive and negative ion. Even though they have attraction between positive and negative ion, attraction between positive and negative ion, these ions also have repulsion between negative and negative, positive and positive. That's why we can easily break the ionic crystals. When we let's go to diamond. In diamond, each carbons are combined with covalent bond. That's why diamond is very stronger. We cannot break the bond. That's why we cannot break the diamond. In diamond, the bond is covalent, but in ionic compounds, we have repulsion as well as attraction. That's why ionic crystals can break with the help of repulsion between positive and negative. Next we are going to discuss about solubility of ionic crystals in water. Ionic crystals are made up of positive and negative ions. Water is a universal polar solvent. Water have 2 lone pair of electrons as well as 2 hydrogen. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen due to this electronegativity difference. Hydrogen always behaves as delta positive. Delta positive, oxygen is delta negative due to its electronegativity. When we add simple sodium chloride, simplest example, when we add sodium chloride to water, the sodium chloride crystal is dissolved in water without apply any energy, because the lone pair of electrons present in oxygen interact with sodium ion present in ionic crystal because it's electron deficient. Na plus, it needs electron, but oxygen have excess of electron, so it ready to donate its pair of electron to sodium, so it make a weak interaction between sodium and oxygen. This interaction is called electrical attraction because it have electrons. That's why this attraction is called electrical attraction. In other hand, chloride ion, Cl minus ion, is electron excess atom ion. It ready to make interaction with hydrogen because hydrogen is slightly positive nature, delta positive. So it makes interaction between hydrogen and chloride ion due to electrical attraction. Net result is a sodium ion is surrounded by n number of oxygen present in water. Sodium ions surrounded by water molecules by this manner. Lone pair of electrons make electrical attraction on sodium. So n number of oxygen surrounded a sodium plus atom, Na plus ion. Similarly, Cl minus ions are surrounded by n number of hydrogens present in water. This type of arrest leads to dissolve the ionic crystals. When we put these ionic crystals into solvent, polar solvents, they will arrested. I mean, cations and anions are arrested by water molecules. Here Na plus arrested by water molecules by this manner, oxygen surrounded Na plus. Here Cl minus ions surrounded by H atom present in water molecule. In this manner, most of the ionic compounds are dissolved in water. Next, conductance of electricity. Most of the ionic compounds will not conduct electricity because you go to crystal lattice. Ions, anions and cations fixed in their crystal lattice. They cannot move from one position to another position. That's why they cannot conduct electricity. The electrical conductance need moving of electrons or moving of ions. In electrochemistry, when we dissolve electrolytes in water, they have mobility. They can carry the charge. Anions move towards anode, cations move towards cathode. That's why they have conductance. But in solid state, ions, cations and anions fixed in their lattice point. That's why inorganic crystals, I mean ionic crystals, are poor conductors of electricity. But when we dissolve in water, they can conduct electricity. Next important point is ionic compounds, ionic crystals do not exhibit isomerism. You just see the figure. Ionic compounds are made up of n number of positive and negative charge ions. Here blue colored balls are cations, green colored balls are anions. Always cations are smaller size than anions. So replicated addition of anions and cations will make crystals lattice in three-dimensional manner. Here anions and cations arranged in three-dimensional manner. The replication will avoid isomerization. Replication of anions and cation avoid isomerism because isomers need a difference in position. Therefore, they are incapable of exhibiting stereoisomerism. Next, most of the ionic crystals react very fast because when we dissolve in water, they split into anions and cations. When we add crystals, ionic crystals in water, they split into anions and cations. Let's take sodium chloride. When we put sodium chloride into water, that ions Cl minus ion and Na plus ion easily split out. That ions can easily react with available opposite ions. That's why most of the inorganic compounds, inorganic reactions are very fast compared to organic reactions. In organic chemistry, in organic compounds, they are most of the organic compounds are non-polar substances. That's why they need more energy to make charges. Make charge on organic compounds is a challenging one. That's why they take more time. But in inorganic compounds, inorganic crystals, when we put the crystals into water, they easily split into cations and anions. That's why they will form, they will form product very faster. Next we are going to talk about polarizing power and polarizability. Polarization is nothing but separation of charge. The ability of cation to polarize an anion is called its polarizing power or polarizability. Not only the anion get polarized, the cations also get polarized. Due to the small size, its electron cloud remains strongly held to the nucleus and hence attract towards the anion. You just see here, this is a symmetrical anion. Symmetrical anion have electrons, excess electron. When cation come closer to this anion, the electron cloud withdrawn by this cation. So we see the red colored dotted circle. The electron cloud move towards the cation. This type of moving of electron cloud is called polarization. When we add cations, the electron cloud present on anion move towards the cation. This process is called polarization. The tendency of an anion to get polarized, tendency of anions to get polarized by cation is called polarizability. Next we are going to discuss about Fagens's rule. This Fagens's rule explains the stability of inorganic crystals. Here Fagens's proposed 5 points. That 5 points leads to explain the stability of crystals. First point is cations should have high positive charge on it, because when cations have high positive charge, they can easily polarize the anions and they make that ionic bond as a covalent character. I mean the great positive charge on positivity of cation leads to maintain the ionic bond with a covalent character. When the covalent character increased, the stability of that bond will increase. That's why anions and cations always try to maintain the covalent character. The second point is cations should be small in size. First point is cations should have high positiveness. Similarly, cations should have small in size. When the cation size reduced, the ability to attract electron is increased, because the distance between nucleus and outermost orbital narrow down. That's why the pulling capacity of a cation increased. So when the smaller size cations come closer to anions, they can easily attract electron from the anion. So cationic size and covalent character is directly proportional. When we reduce the size, the covalent character will increase. That's why cations should be small in size. Next one is cation should have Ns2p6d10 configuration. D10 configuration. Cations have Ns2p6d10 configuration has greater polarizing power than the cations having Ns2p6 configuration. Means when we go to periodic table, the cations formed with electronic configuration Ns2p6d10 electronic configuration is more electropositive than Ns2p6 configuration. Next, fourth point is anions should have high negative charge on it. Cations should have high positive charge on cation. Similarly, anions should have high positive charge, because when the cations have high positive charge, then only they can easily donate electrons to the cations. High negative charge on the anion greater the magnitude of covalent character produced in the ionic bond. Ionic bond character increase due to high negative charge. The last point is anions should be large in size. When the anions size increased, the interaction between nucleus and outermost orbital is weak. That's why they can easily donate the bond electrons to the cation. That's why anions should bigger in size, cations should be smaller in size. When cations smaller in size, the interaction between nucleus and outermost orbital is very strong. They can easily attract electrons from the anion. When the anions have large in size, the interaction between nucleus and outermost orbital is very weak. So cations easily pull the electron from the anion. These characters increase the covalent character of ionic bond. When the covalent character of ionic bond increased, they will very stable. So these 5 points proposed to explain the stability of ionic crystals. This 5 points first proposed by Fajans. Next one is hydration energy. Gaseous metals, cations or gaseous anions react with water to give hydrated cation or hydrated anion with energy. When gaseous cation or gaseous anion react with water, it gives hydrated cation and hydrated anion, corresponding cation and anion plus energy. This energy is called a hydration energy, or energy released by hydration process by cations or anions. Next one is ionic bond. Ionic bond is nothing but cations and anions combine together to form bond is called ionic bond. Here we are going to explain the formation of sodium chloride from its neutral atom. Step 1 is sodium lose one electron from its neutral atom. This Na lose one electron to form Na plus and one electron. During this process, energy released 119 kilocalorie released. This energy is called ionization energy. Step 2 is addition of this electron to Cl. Cl neutral atom get electron released from sodium to form Cl minus ion. This process needs 85 kilocalorie. This energy is taken from this ionization energy. Now cation and anion formed. The third step is formation of ionic bond between cation and anion. Anion and cation combine together to form ionic compound. When the formation of cation and when the anion and cation react together to form ionic compound, they release some energy. That energy is called lattice energy. This lattice energy cannot be directly calculated, but we can calculate by using Born-Haber cycle. From the Born-Haber cycle, we can calculate lattice energy. Now we are going to detailedly explain about the formation of ionic compounds. Generally, ionic compounds form in 3 steps. Step 1 is formation of cation. Step 2 is formation of anion. Step 3 is combination of cations and anion. This is the formation of ionic compound. At first, the formation of a cation. From the neutral atom, sodium tried to lose its electron, outermost orbital's electron, to form Na plus. When it forms Na plus, it can maintain the stability. It can attain the octet rule. So when electron released from sodium, the sodium get stability. Na plus is more stable than Na. So it form Na plus. This is step 1, formation of a cation. Next is the formation of anion. In another hand, in chlorine, outermost orbital have 7 electrons. So it want to maintain the follow the octet rule. So it get electron released from sodium. So one electron add to the outermost orbital of chlorine, it will get 8 electrons on the outermost orbital. So when Cl get electron, it forms Cl minus ion. It will form as anion. This is step 2. Now the cation and anion combine together to form ionic bond. Anions and cation combine together to form ionic bond. This is the simplest representation of formation of ionic bond. Sodium lose one electron, give one electron to chlorine, and they make a bond between Na and Cl. Sodium ready to donate one electron to chlorine and make a bond interaction between sodium and chlorine to form sodium chloride. The sodium chlorides are arranged in crystal lattice in this manner. In crystals, sodium, the coordination number of sodium chloride is 6. Each sodium ions are surrounded by 6 number of chlorine ions. Similarly, each chloride ions are surrounded by 6 number of sodium Na plus ions. That's why its coordination number is 6. Now we are going to talk about the factors governing the formation of ionic bond. At first, ionization energy. When the cations have high ionization energy, they can easily release one electron and it will form cation easily. When a neutral atom easily form cation, they can make ionic bond. The character of releasing of electron explained in the periodic table. In the periodic table, from up to down, the ionization property increased. When we go down, the ionization property increased. Atoms have high ionization power, they can easily make ionic bond. Next one is electron affinity. This electron affinity is discussed about anions. In anions, electron affinity increased from bottom to up. Cations up to bottom, anions down to up.